Good evening, DPS families. Welcome to Family Academy's How to Virtual Class Series. Tonight's class is on school nutrition. And families, you will receive information on DPS's school breakfast and lunch programming. If you have any questions during this class, please post your questions in the Facebook chat, and we will answer them in this class session. We have Melissa Watson, Director of the Office of School Relations, and myself, Greg Jones. We will be monitoring that chat tonight. Our presenter for tonight is Mr. James Keaton. He is the Director of School Nutrition Services here in Durham Public Schools. Mr. Keaton, the show is yours.
Good evening, families. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate this time to reach out to you and to share some of the information concerning school nutrition services. We are very excited to feed your children, even though school's not in session right now. And when we do go back to a hybrid session, we want to be there to continue feeding your children. And we want to make sure to meet your needs at the greatest extent possible. So First I'd like to explain our nutrition program, the way we're working right now. Our slogan is Feeding Durham's Champs, because our children really are the champs for us. We wanted to present to you many opportunities for several ways to receive meals. Considering the facts that each family have different needs, we wanted to meet people at the best place for them. One opportunity is twice weekly cold meal pickups. These meals are available at 7 locations throughout Durham Public Schools. The locations are available on the Durham Public Schools website. And when you come to those locations, you come on Tuesday and Thursday between 11 and 12:30. You drive up, it's curbside service. We'll provide you on Tuesday with meals for 3 days. And then when you come back on Thursday, we'll provide you with meals for 4 days. So you have a full week's worth of meals for each child. Meals are available to any child. Does not have to be a Durham Public Schools child, enrolled child. Over to the left, you'll see a picture of the meals that we are serving packed and ready to go. The meals will include an entree. It'll include fruit, vegetables, milk, and a grain product. So we want to make sure that you have a full balanced meal. And if you look over to the side, this is what 1 day's worth of food for 3 meals. This particular parent picked up for 3 children. So there's a significant amount of food here, and it's all for free. So we want you to take that opportunity. The second opportunity is daily hot meal pickup. For those families that want to get out every day, take a little excursion, go to the schools, and receive some hot meals, those meals are available at 18 of our sites. And those sites are also listed on the Durham Public Schools website. We provide a hot lunch Monday through Friday, and we give you a cold breakfast meal for the next day to take home. And then on Fridays, when you pick up your hot lunch, you'll receive your hot lunch for the day, your cold breakfast for the next day, and 2 bags for the weekend. We want to make sure that you have your needs met for 7 days a week for your children. Another opportunity is to go out into the neighborhoods where the families are for people who don't have access to be able to get to the schools, or who are working with their children in remote learning and don't necessarily have time to drive to a school. So we're providing daily hot meals on buses at 48 locations throughout Durham. Those sites are also available on the Durham Public Schools website, and the times on those sites vary. Some sites are open 11 to 11:30, some 12:15 to 12:45, and some are open from 11 to 12. Please visit the website for follow-up information. Just like the school meals, you will receive hot meals Monday through Friday with a breakfast for the next day, and on Fridays, you'll receive 2 bags for the weekend. So it's the same whether you pick it up at the school or on where the bus is located. We're also providing learning center meals. These are for locations where students are actually in session, whether it be in one of the Durham Public Schools learning centers, or it's a Student U Learning Center, the YMCA learning centers, Boys and Girls Clubs. We want to meet the needs of the families no matter where they are. And the final thing that we offer is a very exciting opportunity. It's through a partnership with Eat NC, which is a nonprofit organization. They're working with local restaurants and they're working with other organizations to provide meals for the entire family. It's not just for the child nutrition food. This group of volunteers, you call them, you register, you sign up, and you give them the information. They will actually deliver meals directly to your home. And those meals include hot meals for the casserole meals for the family that can be heated up. They also give bags of food that have been donated, and they provide the Durham Public Schools cold meals for you to have on site for your families. With the home meal deliveries, we are providing 5 days worth of food at a time for each family member. And we encourage all of you to take part in participating in one of these ways to receive free meals. Free meals for children. Who qualifies? We are excited to say that under USDA regulations, we currently have a waiver that allows us to feed any child in Durham County, 18 years and younger, with no application necessary. All children who receive our meals will receive them at no charge. This is not based on student need or family need. This is based upon the needs of getting children fed during this pandemic time and to make sure that children have opportunities to be nourished while they're being educated. We want to encourage families, no matter what your income level, to participate. Keep in mind, the more people that participate, the more revenue comes into Durham Public Schools, the more we're able to give back to the community through continuing to employ our staff and pay their benefits. So come on out, join us, and get your meals. These free meals are approved through the USDA through December 31st, 2020. We are hoping, and we have asked for an extension of that waiver to go all the way to the end of the school year. We feel it's important during this time, while families are struggling, they're trying to teach their children, they're trying to do the things they need to do, they're trying to work. They don't need that extra stress of having to deal with meal lunches and making payments and following through with that. So the North Carolina School Nutrition Association has requested that waiver to go through to June of 2021, and we're still waiting federal approval. Families, we encourage you to still complete the 2021 lunch application online. We encourage you to complete that because if January 1st rolls around and the waiver has not been extended, we will be required to start serving meals based on the student's eligibility status. So if your child is approved through the lunch application, we'll be able to continue feeding them for free. Reduced students who normally would pay the 40-cent lunch charge, the federal government has issued a waiver that for the year 2021, all children who are in the reduced status will also receive meals for free. So children in the past who paid 40 cents a day, for this school year will not need to make any payments. However, if you are in a status of not being eligible for the free and reduced meals, you will be required to have that the meal prices available when the school opens in January, unless that waiver is extended. Go to the Durham Public Schools website. You'll see a little fork and knife up in the corner. Click on that. That's the meals location tab. And when you go to that, it'll bring you to the lunch application. It is a very simple process. It's an online application. It's in English and in Spanish, and it's completely confidential, and it goes directly into our software. So we encourage everyone to use that tool and apply as soon as possible. Where can I find out more information? As you see here on the left-hand side, this is one of our hot meal pickups. Oven roasted chicken, we have the corn, and we have the apple slices. So the hot meals are different than the cold meals. The cold meals you heat up at home, the hot meals come ready to be served. So if you need more information, you can visit the Durham Public Schools sites and bus sites through the https://www.dpsnc.net/nutrition, which is the Durham Public Schools website. Go to the fork and knife logo at the top right-hand corner and click on that. If you're interested in home meal deliveries through the Eat NC program, please go to the website eatnorthcarolina.org/DPS school meals. They're encouraging families to register. Currently, we're feeding over 450 families through direct home delivery, and that number is growing daily. So please, if you need that access, if you need somebody to deliver the meals to you, please do not hesitate to call them. They have volunteers standing by, waiting to participate. Another thing I wanted to add here is information about the PEBT cards. There have been a lot of concerns about PEBT, and I wanted to explain a little bit of it. PEBT is an extension of the food stamp program offered by the USDA. Back in early spring, when COVID first hit and families were home with teaching their children without meal services and the schools were closed, we were providing meals through a delivery program through bus services. The USDA decided at that time that families needed help with paying for their meals and being able to take care of their children. So they issued benefit cards similar to the food stamp card to families who qualified for free and reduced meals through the school lunch program, and also to families who were part of the community eligibility schools where every child eats free. Those benefits were for May and June of 2020 only. Those benefits expired and there was no indication there would be a continuance of those benefits. However, on September 24th, the USDA announced a one-time reissuance of PEBT benefits. Those benefits have been put on some people's cards already, and some cards are being mailed out. However, the rules have changed this time around. The information is no longer based on child nutrition information. It's based on information through the Department of Health and Human Services, and all contact needs to go through the Department of Health and Human Services. We cannot issue benefit cards. We cannot assist in getting you registered. We cannot turn your application in for you. Everything is through the Department of Health and Human Services. We are here to guide you. If you need us, call us and we can get you the information. But the phone number is at the bottom, 888-622-7328. And we encourage you to call if you have any questions at all concerning PEBT benefits. If you have questions concerning school meals or the application process, please feel free to call our central office at 919-560-2370. We also have a Spanish-speaking liaison on staff. Her name is Nydia Casiano, and she would be happy to speak to any families that need assistance through the English as a second language services. We appreciate you coming out and joining us and being a part of our meal service, and we look forward to continuing to serve your needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Keaton. And we do have some questions here we'd like to ask. So I want to remind our participants who are live on Facebook, if you have any questions, please post them in the Facebook chat. So I have a question here. What happens if I miss the time for my location?
So if you're going to a school site, they're open 11 to 12:30 every day. So their time is static. If you're going to a bus site, some are 11 to 11:30. You could then go to any school site, or you could go to another bus site that's open from 12:15 to 12:45. You're welcome. You do not have to go to the same site every day. You're welcome to go to any site on any day. You can switch back and forth. If you want hot meals one day, go to a hot site. If you want cold meals the next day, on Thursday, go to the cold site. So we're not going to limit you in any sense of that.
Thank you. And you did answer the next question I have here. Can I go to another location? Which families certainly can. So next question, does my child have to be with me to pick up meals?
No, we do not require that the child be with the family. A lot of people need their child home, learning and continuing in their education process. We do have to do accountability for the federal government. So what we require is when the person drives up, our staff members should be asking, are you here for meals for your children? If you say yes, they'll say how many? If you say 4, they'll give you meals for 4 children. So you do not have to have the child in the car. However, if you're sending somebody to pick up the meals on your behalf, like a grandmother or a neighbor, we are required to have a permission slip from the parent. You don't have to have it every time you come, just bring the permission slip the first time. And that way we know that we have permission for that person to go to that home. We want to be safe because these children, some of the children are home learning, and we don't want to send strangers to their door. And we want to make sure that we do have the parents' permission to send those meals directly home.
Thank you. You sort of answered this next question is, can I pick up meals for my neighbors?
Yes, and we encourage that because a lot of parents, the children are learning, the parents are busy, and the neighbors are the next best resource or other family members. And we do encourage that. We want everyone to have a chance to participate.
Thank you. So, question here, how do I sign up for delivery? I do not have a way to get out to the pickup locations.
So for home delivery, if you go to the Eat NC website, it's eatnorthcarolina.org/DPS school meals. They will actually, they have a form out there, a registration form. You have to give your name, your address, your phone number, the children, the number of children, and you have to complete a permission slip there as well because they're going to be sending volunteers directly to your home.
Okay. And can you give me the name of that website again? Want to put
Sure.
that in the Facebook chat?
Sure, it's on the screen right now. It's https://eatnorthcarolina.org.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Thank you. So next question. Can I receive special order meals for my child? My child has allergies.
So under federal requirements, we are not allowed to provide specific meals for specific children based on personal decisions such as religions or vegetarian choices, things like that. However, we are sensitive to the needs of students with disabilities or allergies or physical needs. So we have a form on the Durham Public Schools website in the child nutrition section for children who need to have modified foods. And that form, if that's filled out, we can supply those meals. We're required to supply those meals by law. There's also a form for any family who feels that they cannot have milk products because milk is a requirement in the meals program. It's required that we have to give it to every child under this summer meals program. And we cannot allow a child to refuse it. However, if you complete the milk waiver form, we can provide you with an alternative milk source, such as soy milk or lactose-free milk. And just for people to allay some concerns, we do not have peanuts or peanut oils in any of our products. We do not use peanuts or peanut oils in any of our recipes. We do not claim to be peanut-free because we cannot be sure that if we purchase food from Kellogg's, that they have made sure that every specific item has been perfectly peanut-free. But we do not use peanut oil, we do not use peanuts, we do not use any type of nuts or nut oils in our foods. And we also are very cautious to meet the needs of a larger community. We are not putting pork on our menu right now. During the school year, we have it on because people have multiple choices of food. But this food is being given to you one meal at a time, and we feel that people may not want pork. And we also have a lot of concerns about fish. So pork and fish are not on our menus during this time.
Okay, thank you. So next question. Do you have a menu for each week?
Unfortunately, we don't. Currently, we have 84 sites serving meals, and our vendors are having a struggle trying to get the products we need. So one school may get shorted muffins, one school may get shorted biscuits, one school may get shorted the cereal, and we have no way of knowing what all 84 sites are able to do on any particular day. We have a standard template of a menu that we ask the managers to go by, but it is subject to change drastically depending on what food comes in from our vendors and how much food they're actually sending out. I can post that on the website, but it's not a guarantee that those items would necessarily be available. If you do have concerns, we have one school such as Glen Elementary, where the principal has been very good about, she works with the cafeteria manager and the manager gives her in advance a week's worth of what she's going to be serving so that the principal can answer those questions for the families. So talking directly to the school that you're picking your meals up at, asking them what they're going to be serving is probably the best way to ensure you have a more accurate menu, but I will post that menu online.
Thank you for that information. So next question. Can I get food for my toddler? She is in pre-K.
Yes, absolutely. We do not have any restrictions around the child's age. We are allowed to serve any child 18 and under. So if you have and the child does not have to be in Durham Public Schools, it could be a homeschool child, it could be a toddler, a 2-year-old, a younger sibling, it could be a child that goes to a charter school. We're here to serve the entire community, and that's our goal. So please pick up meals for toddlers as well.
Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. Next question. I have a question here. I have a balance on my lunch account. Can my child still eat free?
So if a family has a negative balance where they owed money at the end of the previous school year, those meal balances have been cleared for this school year. So everyone currently who had a negative balance has a zero balance. And anyone who has a positive balance on their account at the end of the school year where they had money still available, that money will remain there until we come back into school. Or if parents request the money, we can send it to them during this time. And we've had a lot of parents call us and we send them the form to complete and we send the check directly to them at home. So depending on what kind of balance you have, if you have a negative balance, it's taken care of and your child is more than welcome to eat. If you have a positive balance, your money is safe, it's staying there, and it's available if you need it.
That is so good to know. That is so good to know for our families. Uh, Next question here. How do I get a paper application, lunch application?
So paper applications are available. We've mailed them out to every home of every registered child in Durham Public Schools in August. Most schools are physically closed to the public, and so are the central offices. So picking up paper applications is a little bit difficult. So we're asking if you call our number at 560-2370, we can mail you a paper application and we can process it that way.
Thank you. Next question. I still haven't gotten my PEBT money. What do I do?
So PEBT money is handled through the Department of Health and Human Services, and we want families to be able to call. They have a hotline. It's the PEBT hotline, and it's 888-622-7328. That's 888-622-7328. And their entire job is to handle the PEBT question.
Thank you. Excuse me. Uh, ooh, excuse me. Sorry, you all. Next question. Just have a couple more here. Um, my family really needs help. Can we get both hot and cold meals?
Under federal regulations, we're allowed to provide each child one meal per day. So if you're picking up hot meals, then you shouldn't be picking up the cold meals as well. If your child is in a learning center and receiving meals during the school day, then you shouldn't be picking up meals at any of the sites either. Accountability wise, we have to have that out there as that's our procedure. We're serving multiple people at every site. We're not particularly able to track where each person goes, where each family member goes, but we do have an accountability process. So it's the official word is one meal per child per day.
Thank you. If I do not like the food when I get there, can I return it?
You could return it. I just caution you that once it's returned, we have to dispose of it. We're not allowed to reuse it or serve it under health department regulations. So if you don't like it and you choose not that you don't want to eat it, I would recommend taking it with you and sharing it with someone else. Because once that meal has been received by you, the accountability piece is finished and we're not allowed to reuse that food. So we don't want the food to go to waste. So take it with you, give it to someone else, share it. Yes, please.
Understood. So last question here, Mr. Keaton. What is going to happen when it gets cold? We don't return to school until January.
That's one of our concerns. We're working on strategies to find a way to have meals where maybe by then, if the COVID numbers are better, we're working on strategies of a way for people to have the table set up just inside the door so families can come to the door, grab the food, and go right back out with it so that the meals stay hot when they're not outside in a cold area, and also so the staff are not outside in inclement weather for an hour and a half at a time. We're currently working on that procedure and process, and we're hoping for good weather for months to come.
Well, thank you so much. Just had another question pop up, Mr. Keaton. So who exactly, who is making the meals?
So currently we have, normally we would have 47 school cafeterias open during the meals, and we currently have 25. So the staff from those 47 sites have been reassigned into those 25 school sites, and they're actually preparing the meals. A group comes in the morning and starts the prep, and then another group comes in later in the day to help serve, which allows us some flexibility with staffing, but also allows us to be able to socially distance ourselves and make sure that we can keep our staff safe. So the meals are child nutrition employees. We have one cafeteria manager at each site. Some schools have 2 cafeteria managers, and there's always a person in charge because the health department requires that there has to be somebody on site who is ServSafe certified to ensure the food safety standards. So it's all child nutrition employees right now. Volunteers are not preparing the meals. It's all Durham Public Schools child nutrition employees.
Okay, good to know. So are you still doing the taste testing festivals?
We are, everything right now with the public is on hold until we can get to a safer place where we know we can do things in a safe manner. We do have a taste, we've been asked by the North Carolina Procurement Alliance to do a taste testing of a new all beef hot dog. And we're going to be picking a couple of sites next week to provide that hot dog out to the families, and with a little comment card, survey card, and ask the families to bring it back so that we can get some testing results without having to put people at risk or set up tasting stations.
All right. Well, Mr. Keaton, thank you so much for your time tonight with the presentation and answering our questions. I want to thank our families who tuned in for tonight. Just a quick reminder, our next webinar class will be on October 12th, and that class is entitled Zoom Basics, where families can learn a little bit more about Zoom and our main mode of instruction for our schools. So please tune in for that class. Again, I want to thank all our DPS families for joining us tonight. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and goodbye.